Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Good morning, this is Absolute Radio and I'm Frank Skinner. I did it the other way around this week.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Sorry, I can't hear a damn thing. Terrible moment. Gone deaf on air.
Oh, no.
If I'm going to go deaf, I would rather go deaf on air.
Really?
Yeah, sorry, Sarah just turned up my thing really, really loud in case I hadn't gone deaf.
Well, that's fixed the deaf problem,
Now
hasn't
I've got blood coming out of my ears and nostrils, and just a little bit out the corner of one eye. This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Oh, it's packed in here.
Morning.
Absolutely packed.
Everyone's here.
Yeah, we've got the producer, where is he, assistant or associate? What would you call?
Assistant.
Assistant producer. My manager's in here, overseeing. It's lovely. We've got, who's that? The Everly brothers are here. Are they dead?
Dunno.
Okay. That's this morning's texting. Are the Everly brothers dead?
That will come in now, you know.
Yeah, they won't be listening. They don't get on, do they?
I don't mean them directly, but someone will let us know.
No. They were the first squabbling showbiz brothers, I think.
Oh, were they?
Whatever.
No, that was the chuckle.
Everly.
That was the Chuckles.
Yeah, they might not have been. They might have been. I think maybe the Novellos didn't get on that well.
All right.
But
Isn't there some squabbling brothers in the Bible?
Oh yeah, Cain and Abel.
They
could be fractious. It actually led to a homicide. Anyway, you can text us on 81215 about the mortality of the Everly brothers or any other topic, biblical or otherwise. Or if you're one of the Twitterati, like people like Vanessa Feltz, for example, you can...
and me.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I've heard you call them the Twitterati before. I'm enjoying it.
I'm always expanding my vocabulary, or trying to.
He's getting very Twitter literate.
Yeah, Twitterate. That's right. Anyway, you can use @Frank on Absolute. I know you won't, but I have to read it out.
Actually, they will. Au contraire, my friend.
They do, yeah.
Because Erin has tweeted us to say, my brother quoted Frank...
There's au contraire.
My brother quoted Frank on a date. The relationship didn't work out. Erin, we have to know what he said.
I want to know what the quote was, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe it's not broadcastable.
Oh, yeah, it might not. I hope it wasn't.
Your earliest.
It might have been your blue period.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, I hated the blue period.
If you quoted that on a date, I mean, that's too much too soon. That's something you need to have been living with someone for about 8 years, and standards need to have dropped a little for you have those kind of conversations. You got to keep up a bit of a false front, haven't you, in the early days?
Maybe that was the problem as well.
Oh, you just meant to do that in the early days. That's where I'm going wrong.
Yeah. I think the early days, like, the first 6 weeks when you're, cleaning your teeth on a regular basis.
It's what I call the hold-ups phase. Still wearing hold-ups, not tights.
Exactly, yeah, which is always... they're all right, except when they turn and the grey, sticky elastic is exposed. There's something not good about that. And sometimes one will drop... And when they drop, they sort of the top comes down and overlaps a bit on a hold-up, and you get one sexy stocking leg and one cavalier leg. And I can't be erotic in the company of 17th century history. It's just a little thing of mine. Remember that, girls.
Frank Skinner
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
No news on the Everleys?
No.
This is like a bedside vigil.
There has been other information coming in from the outside world.
On 8/12/15?
On 8/12/15, yeah.
Okay.
Slick. Early in the show to be this slick. And on the subject of early in the show, we've had a text saying, hi guys, I know it's early in the piece, but killing your brother is technically fratricide, not homicide.
Well, I think homicide covers all killing, doesn't it?
I think you're good for both.
I agree
with that.
Also, isn't it fratricide rather than fraticide?
Oh, maybe
when pedants collide.
Maybe his phone's corrected it. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He's gone FRATACIDE.
I think it's
Fratricide.
fratricide, but again, I've been wrong.
Frank,
Fratricide.
we've
I've been wrong
also
before. I think 3 times since
Well,
the 80s.
Well, Gregor in Lewisham.
Gregor.
Gregor, yeah.
Oh, named after Rasputin. Well, I don't want to be disputed.
Oh, Frank, lovely. We've also had a tweet in from Jack.
Oh, Jack's tweeted in.
Jack
Good lad.
says the Chuckle brothers weren't brothers; they were father and son. This is extraordinary revelation.
Is that right?
Well,
That can't be
by
right.
extraordinary revelation, if you mean incorrect, then yeah, I think you're probably right.
Is it incorrect?
I think so. I mean, I don't know, but someone will tell us. That's
what were
often my answer on these
What were
conversations.
the Crankies? What was their... I know they were husband and wife off stage.
No, there was civil partnership.
What were they?
Yeah.
No, because
What?
Jimmy was like a 10-year-old, wasn't he?
Oh, okay.
Was he the older brother?
Possibly.
Ian. He wasn't father and son, was he?
Oh, I don't know the nature of their complex relationship.
I thought they were husband and wife. Oh, what, you mean...
No, when they were Jimmy and Ian Cranky.
Oh, right. I thought they were Big and Little Brother, but I'm
Big and Little
maybe
Brother.
misremembering it.
Yeah, I think it was Legal Guardian and Ward of Court. I could be wrong about that. Anyway, what a week! What a week! I
Frank.
say, what a week I've had.
Have you?
It's been a nightmare. Regular listeners will know that I the last half hour of last Saturday's show, I was in considerable pain. So I went off to considerable pain or heavy metal pain. You know them.
You have to say what's wrong, Frank. Yeah.
Yeah, I had
Toothache.
terrible toothache. Yeah, and
Toothache.
and I went to the a friend of mine is a dentist. He opened up the surgery for me especially. We had the surgery to ourselves.
Oh, lovely.
He's your friend and he's your dentist?
Yes,
Really?
the two can go together.
It's just
Yes, and I knew him.
awkward at invoice point, though, isn't it? Surely.
No, we don't. We never discuss money.
Really?
I do all that through a third party. Yeah, you can't. It's not good in a friendship, I've found. And he opened up the shop. He lives above the shop.
I love that you call it the shop.
Well, you know.
Dental surgery.
Okay, he lives above the surgery, but living above the shop is a term, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
So so it's just me and him in the thing. No nos.
Oh, no nos.
No nos looking after us, which was a bit, you know, I had to hold my own pipe. I did. You know,
I love that I'm getting so fluent in Brummie, I understand all of this.
No, but you know your drainage pipe that you have when you're having your teeth done. I had to hold that myself because we didn't have a dental
Oh,
nos.
goodness me.
So it was all. He's you know, he knows the drill.
He knows the drill.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Thank you very much. I love him, actually. Yes, I'm an extractor fan. Now, it was the worst. I was in the chair for 2 hours, and it was the worst dental experience of my life. I had 11 different needles in my gum. 11.
Oh, Frank.
My gum went a bit Hellraiser.
Oh.
I had some actually between, you know, the gap between the teeth.
I know it well.
Actually up there, right up that gap. And then one in the roof of the mouth.
Oh,
And
that
even
doesn't
in the
sound good.
midst of pain, I thought to myself, is it the roof of the mouth? Or it's called the roof of the mouth, but isn't it more of a ceiling? And that's it with me. I'm always concerned with language and usage, even in the very midst of agony. So it makes more sense now, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I had one right through the ceiling. Yeah, but but it's a terrible tale.
Frank Skinner.
On Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
I was on about me teeth.
Oh, step-turn son.
Yeah, and in the end, I had to. It had to come out.
The tooth.
Yeah,
Tooth.
and I haven't had a tooth out for 20 years, I don't think.
Where
They
was it?
don't seem to take them out anymore, do they?
Where was it in proximity to the front of the mouth? Where are we talking?
It's about halfway towards the back. I'm not one of those people who can say molar 7.
Oh, me neither. I just thought you could describe it, though.
Well, the thing is, I
turns out you
don't
could.
have any teeth on one side of my head at all. I'm working on gum. So if I lose a tooth from the other side, I've said tooth now, it's tricky.
I'm glad.
Soon I'll just be taking my whole intake through a straw.
That'd be all right.
Oh, nil by mouth. I'm so jealous.
But anyway, it had split right down the middle, this tooth. I literally split down the middle. And when they pulled it out, it looked like two little fingers. It looked like my gum was saying, and don't come back. So do you think there's something very 1970s about having a tooth taken out?
Yeah.
Oh,
People
yeah.
have them filled and drilled and all that now.
Yeah.
Just get new ones now.
The first 3 times I went to the dentist, I had 6 out, 6 out and 4 out.
What, in your life?
In my life, yes.
The first 3 times?
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Thanks for verifying those facts before we move on.
I just thought, what?
Well, we weren't big on dental hygiene in our house. Let's not go on about it. So,
We have in the past, actually, haven't we?
I think we probably have, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be one of those. There are certain celebrities, and we won't name names, who've gone for the very, very white, perfect, pristine teeth that they've had sort of built.
Yeah.
And often with a rugged, working class face, like a bit.
Oh,
like my
yes,
own.
I've got one exactly in mind now.
Yeah.
Oh,
and-
well, we should.
No, I'm not. I won't, because he's a nice man.
We'll say Noel Gallagher as an example. As a man who looks like he should have teeth like mine, and in fact has got perfectly white, lovely, smashing.
Right.
And there are certain people who look like they could read in bed by the light of their own smile. And I've always thought, well, I don't want to go down that road. But when your teeth are falling out and splitting in two, you do think maybe it's time to try and do a bit of rescue work. But I'm gonna go the Queen Mother's route. If it's good enough for her, the nation's sweetheart. In other words, I'm going to have very small wooden ones. I think hers were wood, weren't they? I think she was fear of drowning. She feared that the teeth would float being wooden, and that would hold her mouth and nasal passage slightly above the surface. I don't think she ever got over that Titanic thing.
There's a logic, isn't there?
Oh yeah, she was full of logic. But I was. Logic is a finely blended whiskey. I don't know if you're aware of that. But they said to me, "You've got to eat mushy food for a week." And I went and I bought some mushy peas.
Lovely.
And I thought, that's a bit route one, isn't it, for mushy food?
Were they nice?
They were mushy.
Lovely.
I'll give them that. Whether they were peas. Well,
Is this one of those cases where you can say they did exactly what it said on the tin?
exactly. Yes, they promised mushiness and they delivered big time.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
I wonder if anybody's ever made a statue of you, Frank. I know you've been celebrated in many ways.
Oh, I have, yeah.
There must be one in Dudley somewhere.
I've never seen one. Somebody surely would have dropped me a line.
Because there's been
A
one...
Birmingham would have told you.
The Birmingham would have. The Birminghams are getting in touch today a bit, aren't they? There's been one made, supposedly, of Dame Kelly Holmes, but it doesn't...
It's a bit 4 years
It
ago.
doesn't
Oh, yeah, I
look
see.
like her.
Very retro.
It's been in the papers. It was made by the deodorant makers, Sure.
It wasn't made by them, surely.
It was commissioned by them.
Has she got like a sort of a human cannonball hat on that you can use as an aerosol,
With
as a roll-on?
yeah, with nozzle
Roll.
effect.
No, I've seen it. I saw a picture of it in the paper.
And it doesn't look like them. And I think that's part of the problem that they did it, because I think they turned up and went, "Oh, this is Kelly Holmes' statue," and people saw it and went, "Are you sure?" And they went, "Yeah, we're from Sure." and
Excellent.
that was part of the problem, that they didn't realise that it didn't look like her because of who they worked for.
Ah.
So there.
So
That's my theory on it.
surely they gave it their tick.
Surely, yeah. It did make me remember those adverts. Do you remember those adverts that they
You
used
get
to
the
do?
tick on the back.
Yeah, the tick
Oh,
on the
yeah.
back. It's reminiscent of a particular era of advert, isn't
And
it?
it used to be, it used to go, the tick on the back is all mine, Tick on the back, was that it?
No, I didn't.
That bit.
Was that wrong?
that was Gazza in his musical period.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. I was very disappointed with the... even Dame Kelly Holmes says it doesn't look like...
She did say something.
Well, I
like,
liked what she said. She said it was quite withering the way she said it. It was quite Emily Dean, if I may say.
Oh, good for her.
She said, "It's a shame it doesn't look quite like me."
Yeah.
Oh, that's cold.
No,
and I loved her for it.
It was good, though. But imagine the poor artist, though. That must be terrible. And even Dame
They
Kelly
haven't
Holmes.
named them, have they? They haven't
No.
said who it was.
No.
Or how much it cost.
He'll forever be the artist with no name, and I think he should stay that way.
What, Prince?
I tell you what, I was disappointed. I saw the article in the paper, and I thought they've missed a fantastic chance for a headline here. What was the headline on the actual thing? Have you got it?
Oh,
Yes, I have.
It was something very straightforward, anyway.
Yeah.
Oh no, it doesn't. In the Mail Online, which is my paper of choice, it just has a précis of the story.
Yeah, well, surely the headline should have been "Nothing Like a Dame."
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
fine.
it would have been one of the great headlines ever.
That's first class,
Chance
Yeah.
missed.
and that's high praise for me. First class.
I've said Heather, then I said Heather instead of Ever. I noticed on one of the adverts today, one of the announcers said Halbert Hall.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And they've left that in. Someone thought, that's all right. What's going on with this station? We're on the way
Pressed
out.
for time.
Frank,
Can I say can I just read you this? This
You
was
can.
from you said you saw it Daily Mail Online. Did you read the comments?
I love a Daily Mail comment.
There's a beautiful comment. I worked with a girl who was in the army with Holmes. Apparently, she's a right nasty cow.
Yeah.
What a lovely tribute there to a double Olympic gold medalist. I don't know about you. I'm filling up.
We've had 2 missives from the outside world from people texting 8, 12, 15. I think we should the same joke, but we should congratulate separately Ian Angle or Angel.
I'm going Angel.
We did this before, and Mike at Romford, and they've both gone with No Face Like Holmes.
That's very good.
Very good.
Very good. Great minds, etc.
Yeah.
In case you haven't seen the picture, some people think it looks more like Jessica Ennis. Some say
Yeah.
young Princess Anne. To
Wow.
me, it was
Strangely.
David Carradine as Kane in Kung Fu. That's. Now, why that statue of David Carradine should stand in a small Kent village is
Yeah.
questionable.
Yeah.
Why has she got a sort of Barry McGuigan mouth shield as well? Odd
She
teeth.
does look like she's wearing a gum shield.
He's completely messed it up.
And I don't like the sagging area in the shorts, like school play tights.
The what?
Sagging area in the shorts.
Oh.
Yes, you're right. I don't know if that was deliberately put in or if there's been some meltage. But that's how they should do it. If I was a sculptor, what I would do is I'd do the statue first.
If I was a sculptor,
then-
that'd be a good first line to a song,
It
Frank.
would actually.
Yeah.
Let me write that down. If I was a sculptor. But then again, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, what I would do is I'd do a big sculpture, and then I'd say to my mates, "Who does that look like to you?" And if they said, "Well, it looks like David Carradine, Kung Fu," then I'd find out the hometown of David Carradine and say, "I've done a statue. Do you want to buy it?"
You'd phone a deodorant company and away you go.
I mean, the deodorant. I mean, what's Sure doing getting involved in
I don't know.
in this kind of public? work?
Ironically, it's an
Yeah.
uncertain world for them, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it's hit and miss. I thought Right Guard's Daley Thompson was a fabulous, fabulous portrait.
Was he wearing tracksuit bottoms?
Of course. But they had the moustache was ebony. It was beautiful.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Frank, we've had an email in from...
Just a minute. We've had an email in. Email corner. I wish I lived on email corner.
This is from Andy Lee. I don't know if
Okay.
he's anything to do with Lisa Scott Lee, one of my favourite celebrities.
Or Rusty Lee.
Yeah,
Or Sarah Lee.
or Diane. Which one was Peterson Lee? Which one was? Anyway, carry on.
Dear Frank, have you heard that there's a pub named the Pig Iron in Middlesbrough, formerly known as the Hairy Lemon?
What, Middlesbrough used to be known as the Hairy Lemon?
No, the Pig Ironed it.
Oh, okay.
They should have got Frank to do the grand opening so he can bring back his Pig Iron catchphrase.
Yes, there was a time when I explained what was in the show, when I used to say, we got Pig Iron! We got all Pig Iron! But I stopped doing it because I'm basically anti-catchphrase culture. You work your guts out coming up with jokes, and then some idiot just says the same thing every week and gets a big cheer from the audience. Can't be right. And I'm also a bit worried about pubs that are called things like the Hairy Lemon, because I think it's like let's have a wacky name. You get things like the Frog and Transsexual.
Oh, right,
and I think people have deliberately come up with that in order to be.
That's just in your area in Vauxhall, to be fair.
I thought if I had a pub, I'd call it the Misplaced Defibrillator. That's what they should be more inventive. I'm just nipping down the misunderstood reference for a half. Be great.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Nain and Alan Cochrane. You can text us on 81215 or follow us on Twitter using @Frank on Absolute.
How was the Cambridge Folk Festival?
I loved it. I feel it had quite a big influence on me.
Yeah, it does seem to have,
That's necessarily true. I was going to throw in with the fold eye, riddle day fate, but I thought people might start typing it in, thinking it was our Twitter account.
Part of the address.
All sorts of confusion. If a folk virus got into Twitter,
oh no,
the whole thing. Isn't it the antithesis of Twitter, folk music?
Yeah.
That's this week's texting.
Why don't you tweet us at Frank on Absolute?
You can either tweet us or write a ballad about it, depending which side of the fence you lie.
Frank?
Yes?
I did something extraordinary this week.
Uh-oh.
I went north. Barnet. No. I went to Liverpool. Can you believe it?
Fantastic.
Yes.
The great northwest of the country.
Goes on day after day.
I'm quite a big fan of Liverpool. I'm a bit of an honorary Scouser. I've had a few adventures up there back in the 90s, yeah.
Okay.
But this wasn't
Creamfields or something.
No, more Premier League players.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
I won't lie.
Thinking it was raving.
Well, it was. In parts.
Of a sort. No, this was work.
Right.
And I was filming a little fashion item for This Morning, which you may be familiar with.
Oh, well, who isn't familiar with This Morning?
I was styling.
Now, that's another texting.
I was styling.
You should let me know when you're on the telly, because I like to watch.
Oh, I don't like to self-promote.
I like to watch.
Oh, that's made me feel ill.
No, but that'd be great. I love the fact that you're on This Morning.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. Well, I was styling the mum of Beth Tweddle. You know, the Olympian gymnast.
I know Beth Tweddle.
Frank.
Yeah.
I'm Team Tweddle now.
Yeah.
I'm a friend of the family.
She bronzed, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Did she? Is that what you did? You bronzed her?
No.
No, you got completely mixed up.
Frank, so I arrived the night before. You go the night before, obviously. Get yourself prepared.
Yeah.
I had the lovely Scouse taxi driver. He said, where are you going? I said, it's called A Hard Day's Night. I said it like that.
Right.
So it's dead posh in there, love. It's dead posh in there, 3-star. I went, all right, went in.
Surely, is that the Beatles-themed place?
Yes.
That should be 4-star, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
3-star, if I was Ringo, I'd take that as a slap in the face. If I was Bingo, I would be a dog from a popular children's song. So I probably wouldn't be hosting the show. There was a farmer had a dog, his name was Bobby Bingo. Everybody, B-I-N-G-O. I mean you people at home as well. B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O. There was a band who had a drummer and his name was Ringo. Everyone, R-I-N-G-O, R-I-N-G. I hate it when the listeners don't join in.
It'd be great if there's a way of knowing.
4 people and 3 of them were in West Bromwich.
Oh, they're very supportive.
Frank, I've got more to say about A Hard Day's Night.
I know, but I have to play some music. We'll come back to A Hard Day's Night.
Absolute Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Let me set things up. We're in Liverpool, we're in a cab, and we're on our way to the Hard Day's Night Hotel.
Themed Beatles hotel.
Very
I'm
good,
Sans Premier League players at this point.
Yeah.
So I arrive at the hotel. It's lovely.
Is it?
They're a lovely person, the Scouser. I do like
How
them.
does it... Was the front door a revolver?
Oh, clever.
Frank!
I imagine that there's like, instead of a porch, there's like a big mop-top hairstyle over,
They
over
should
the
have
door.
that, yes.
That would be good.
That would be great. A big one, you know, massive.
Well, I hoped there is the...
Real hair.
The McCartney... no, that's Fire Hazard.
Yeah, probably.
I hoped I'd be in the McCartney suite.
There is a McCartney.
There's a Lennon suite. I thought that might be Vladimir Lennon, but it turns out it is John Lennon.
Oh, did you end up in the Stu Sutcliffe?
I was Ringo. I was sort of in between.
Okay.
No, I was just in a general room. They're called luxury rooms. But apparently, what they have, they've obviously tried to theme... that entire hotel is themed towards Beatles songs. So, you don't get a sign on the door saying, do not disturb. You put a sign out which says, let it be.
Oh, nice.
A bit vague, isn't it?
Let it be.
That's not worried.
I imagine they've told the staff that let it be means do not disturb. Rather than just...
There's a song called I'm Only Sleeping, isn't there?
Yes.
Oh, that would be good, Frank.
Oh, that would have been good.
Well, 24... Maybe I should get you guys to guess what they were, because...
Please don't spoil my day, I'm miles away.
Marky Smith was in the room next door.
I'm only sleeping. Yeah, that's what they should have had.
Room service, 24 hour, any time at all.
Anytime at all.
They should have pushed it even further and gone for 8 days a week.
No, that was the sign on my door. I put that on my door.
After, if you stayed there for a week and got charged for 8 nights, the theme wouldn't be quite so funny anymore, would it?
But Frank, they tried to crowbar it in sometimes.
Of course.
And then it was getting a bit... It was like there was a sign saying, can't buy me love. But you can buy one of our gift vouchers for someone special. I didn't like that.
That's a bit much.
And also, I bet people from the local red light area laughed at that. I can't buy me love.
But Frank, there was a giant oil painting above my bed of John Lennon meeting Elvis.
Oh,
brilliant.
It was lovely. It was beautifully fashioned.
Happily sleep under that. How marvellous.
Yeah.
that sounds good.
And then I had to do my slot for this morning, which went well, although I trod on the presenter's toe, which I didn't think was a very good thing. In 5-inch heels, yeah.
What, to shut him up?
No, I did it unintentionally.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It was Alison Hammond. I trod on her toe.
Oh.
And Frank, the taxi driver, invited me to the Taxi Driver Sports and Social Hall.
They've got a
Walton.
sports and social hall.
Yeah. I graciously declined.
They don't look like they have to, though.
The taxi drivers.
Yes.
What
What
sports and social hall.
Yes.
They have gigs there, and all the seats are facing in the opposite direction.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
What was we talking about?
Well, I was telling you about my trip to Liverpool.
Ah, yes.
And I was in a Beatles-themed hotel called A Hard Day's Night.
I once stayed in a Dame Kelly Holmes themed hotel in Kent.
Uh-huh.
It was all right. I thought they overdid it a little bit.
And
When I filled in my, you had to fill in. Basically, just fill this in at reception.
Oh,
They
yeah,
said,
registration
They said
form.
just put your Dame and your Holmes address. And I thought, no. That's rubbish. I said you got to do a bit better. Do you want someone to Kelly your bags up to your room? You know what I mean?
Kelly your bags.
They hadn't. There was no rooms named. It was just part of their general chit chat. They were encouraged to. I think they were on some sort of bonus scheme.
In A Hard Day's Night, you see, carry that weight. That's what the porter did for you.
Oh man,
They were all over that.
That's good.
We've had a suggestion in from Dan Pearce on who's tweeted us. Was this hotel down a long and winding road?
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Oh,
Dan.
I
Good
love
work.
that, Dan.
I think Dan Pearce might have been a character in The Archers. That doesn't make him a bad person, just makes him fictional.
He's Jonathan Pearce's son, so he's quite loud.
Oh, yeah, I bet he is. Yeah, what's this hotel down there on the Warren Road? Like father, like son. I have to say, I just went to the toilet. Yes, I'm human. And they always play, when you go to the toilet, you hear Absolute Radio being played, because they're playing in the hall.
Talk about now.
But they're playing Absolute 80s at the moment. Now, this is complicated, because some of you might be listening to this on Absolute 80s. What happens with this show, it goes out on Absolute Radio, starting at 8 in the morning, and then it goes out on all their digital relatives starting at 9, so we're slightly staggered.
With different tunes.
Yeah. So I just heard myself talking about my the whole tuth thing going on. Yeah. I have to say, it wasn't anywhere near as funny as I imagined it.
Well, that's the mistake of listening.
I'd say it was dull.
But it's also why we get...
review it whilst we're still in it.
It's also why we get texts in.
It's left me with a terrible feeling of desolate emptiness.
We do get texts in from people that are listening to what we think of as the first hour during our second hour.
Well, we've kicked a massive hole in the whole time-space continuum.
But consequently, we are now getting texts telling us that the Chuckle Brothers are alive and the Everly Brothers... Someone's saying the Everly Brothers are dead. That's not true.
That could be very, very latest news.
No, did you see this, Alex?
I think that the Everly Brothers listened to my going to the dentist material and killed themselves.
Apparently the Everly Brothers are still alive. Don is 75, Phil is 73.
Phyllis? A strange name for the brother. I'm Don, and this is my brother Phyllis. What are you smiling at, Don? Another argument kicks in.
Oh, they always fought.
Oh, they were the precursor of the Gallaghers in many ways. Beautiful silky harmonies there. Still, that's enough about their hairspray.
Frank
Skinner
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
Hold it. Email corner. Beautiful.
Well, this is an email that I think would probably involve a little bit of explanation, but it begins, and I don't know how you feel about this, Frank. I'm not cock-a-hoop about this. Hello, Emily. Just directly to Emily. No sort of courtesy of, hey, Alan, hey, Frank.
Get used to it, my friend.
You're not cockerel-a-hoop.
I'm not cockerel-a-hoop. He continues, you may remember me from a couple of weeks ago. I was the fella that gave you an offer of a night out in Birmingham.
Oh, which one?
I noticed... I think he kick-started this whole night's move thing. I noticed since then you have, unsurprisingly, had many potential suitors, so I thought maybe I should up the ante slightly. Firstly...
I don't know if someone who fancies older women should use the phrase up the ante.
Frank, don't ruin my chances.
I'm sorry.
Firstly, can I please say, ignore Frank's description of my hometown, Tipton. I've got to say it's an accurate description, but I no longer live there, and I'm not a typical product of Tipton. I'm not a rag and bone man. I don't have a horse in my front garden. I've never been to prison, and I have a career and a full set of teeth.
That's more than you've got.
Are these all things?
Let's be honest.
I never want a career or a full set of teeth. I never said they went. All I said was they have a horse in the front garden. That was all.
That's all he said.
I think you may have said he was a rag and bone man as well.
But that's why they've got a horse on the back garden.
He continues, I now live in central Birmingham.
He's got pig eye.
Slap bang in the middle of the village. Birmingham's gay district, brackets.
The village,
I'm hoping this may increase my chances of you joining me on a night out.
Oh.
I've attached a couple of recent photos, which I hope will aid your decision, or they may send you running a mile, I'm not sure. Looking forward to hearing from you, Danny. And he's attached a couple of pictures.
Well, I know. I've been perusing them at some length this morning.
In one, he looks like a mod. He's got a Fred Perry with the top button done right up.
We forwarded them to Diane Kelly Holmes, and she ran a mile.
Frank, can I just say... Right, I've looked at the evidence, the photographic evidence.
Yes.
Danny, I think he's got it going on. It's working for me.
Aye. Breakthrough.
Well, what I would like to ask at this juncture, it's a crucial question, and your manager's choosing it to come over and get a biscuit just at this moment.
Yes, my manager, I should say, is an Alsatian. It was a bet I had with an old fortune teller lady.
It's worked out, though, hasn't it?
Down Rover.
Better than that. Better than that frog I had before.
But Frank, Frank,
Yes, sorry.
what do we think of this? When he says, I think it's also a very well constructed email, which GSOH is my most important criteria.
What I like is a very well constructed she-mail.
Frank,
But hey, that's the internet.
he says he lives in the middle of the village Birmingham's gay district. I'm
The
hoping this
village?
may increase my chance of you joining me. So what I'm saying is, well, you know what I'm saying, Frank.
Is he or isn't he?
Exactly.
Are you saying, is this a date or
It
a
might be
play date?
It might be a lovely night out.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this a date or am I your Liza Minnelli?
Are you going to step out to the theatre together?
Because I'm not looking for a David Guest right now.
Well, we'll come back to this this debate because hopefully we can discover it just by looking at the photographs.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We're in the midst of a.
We were doing
Emily
some
has been
detective work.
Emily's
weren't we?
been wooed by a man, and she's been wooed before. That's what Jonathan Ross told me. He said she'd be very rude.
And that works as well. I like that too.
She has been wooed by a man from Tipton who lives in the village in Birmingham. The village! I am not a number!
So we're trying to find out if he's a village people.
He
is
looks
that...
handsome. What do you think of the pictures, Frank? We've got
I
photographs.
think he looks well dressed and in good shape, so he's gay.
Oh, Frank.
Or it could be that he's young. Like
well,
he
exactly,
could just be young.
and have a great fashion sense. He does have a glass of beer in front of him, but
Well-
as you always say, Frank, judge ye not.
Do you know what that picture where he's got the glass of beer looks like? That, to me, is your classic holiday snap.
Because he's got a tan.
He's got a tan.
And what did your
he's
driver
got-
say, Frank,
He's
about
got a
having...
small beer in front
Yeah,
of him.
never go out with anyone in the summer because everyone looks good with a tan.
Is that right?
Vanessa Felt's the exception to the rule.
Of course, it doesn't really work anymore, does it? Because people have tans all the year
Pan a
round.
tan, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like when I was a kid, we had seasonal fruit.
Back in the day.
That's gone now. You can just get everything all the time.
Yeah,
That's
pineapples.
what people want nowadays. They want everything. They want it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Frank, this Danny...
Yes, darling.
You're right.
I love that moment. How old do you think he is, though? He looks awfully young.
Doesn't he say how old?
No,
He used to say
it's a
how old
mystery.
they are to try and
I
tease
thought
you.
he'd said in a previous
I don't think he
email
has.
that
I
he was
think
in his
he's young.
20s.
Yeah,
He looks very post-Betamax. He was born.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Yeah.
Don't bring up anything before the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
if you
God,
go
I'm going to
on a
be
date.
stiff
Oh,
with
even
stress on this date.
Well,
Oh, be glad it's just that.
someone had to say it, didn't they?
Anyway, just because he lives in the village in Birmingham doesn't mean he's necessary. Obviously, it'd be love. We're not suggesting for a second it would be a negative thing for him to be gay, but it does change the nature of the date. That's what we're saying.
Definitely does.
That's
Yeah.
what we're saying. And it's right next to Chinatown
Is
in
it?
Birmingham. I say Chinatown. It's got 3 restaurants.
Oh, lovely.
Do you know, I once went to Beijing and I was insulted.
Is that a restaurant in Birmingham?
No, it is a city, and there wasn't an England town.
No.
Is that fair?
No.
I thought, go out, get a nice bit of Yorkshire pudding. Nothing. To me, it has to be two-way, and it doesn't count.
I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we've never... Anyway.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've had another text in on the Everly brothers. Didn't one of the Everly Sprogs just dump Axl Rose?
It's a brutal text, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a
It's using
conversationally...
monosyllabic words like sledgehammers,
Yeah.
sprog and dump. I didn't know that. So one of the Everly's daughters, I presume, has just dumped Axl Rose.
Yeah, that text is from Dr. Seuss, who likes monosyllabic.
I wouldn't want him being an angry ex. He could turn.
Who, Dr. Seuss? You
No.
don't want nasty, you don't want threatening letters in rhyme.
Axl Rose.
Frank.
That's who you don't want as an
Yeah,
ex.
I don't. Just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Are we still technically in email corner?
I think we're in the outskirts of town.
Okay.
Right, the village.
Can I get a quick one in then?
Do it.
Dear Frank Alun and the lovely Emily. He said it,
Is that
not me.
Is that all you're going to read out?
That'll do.
I thought that was a really interesting email. Welcome back, Frank. I've been saving up this question to ask your and your team's opinion. Which one of us is weird?
In case they're welcome back, Frank, I should explain to
Yes.
the listeners that I was in a coma for 2 years.
Yeah. I've recently returned
Thank
from...
you to the music of Chris de Burgh. I woke up.
I've recently returned from holiday where we rented a house in Cornwall. My friend had one bedroom and always slept with the bedroom door open. Apparently everyone in his family does the same.
That's a hint, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd have took that as a hint.
Oh, God. I slept with my bedroom door shut. That's a hint. Everyone in my family does this, and I was considered weird for doing so. Needless to say, I think it's weird to sleep with the bedroom door open. What do you and the team think? Which one of us is weird?
Well,
That's from Rob.
Might be one to ask the listeners. That I always sleep with it shut. I used to lock my bedroom
shut?
door. I used to lock it, and my girlfriend, I think, thought I was trying to keep her in. But I just locked it because, I don't want the door to be kicked down by 4 men in balaclavas who keep me prisoner for like a week until I actually finally spill out my PIN number. And that seemed to me to be reasonable.
Whereas I'm actively recruiting for that. Frank, I think that's all those days of whippets. I think that's your dog days, because we didn't want him in the room. No.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's find out if people sleep with it and why. And also, there's something weird, isn't there, about sending an email into the show and not asking Emily out.
Yeah, that is odd.
That's bizarre.
That's unusual now.
Bizarre.
This is
Frank Skinner, Absolute Radio.
Isn't this the top of the hour when I say this is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Alan Cochrane and all that? Too late. The moment's gone.
Was that you saying it?
Yeah, you can text us on 81215. Emily Dean, by the way, don't mention her or she'll hold it against me forever.
Oh, I very much will.
Yes.
Frank, I have to say, yes, I'm very much a total door open woman.
Weird. If anyone's just tuned in, this is not euphemism.
No. We're on about... There's one of our listeners always sleeps with his door shut, and he shared a room with someone who always sleeps with their... or shared a house with. Always open. No, not open.
Oh, yes, open. I've never shut it.
How
It's
weird.
permanently. I can't. I think it's very sleazy and a bit Pete Doherty to have it shut. What's going on? What have you got to hide? Keep it open.
I find it strange. Surely if you are brought up sleeping with your bedroom door open permanently, what your parents are not doing is equipping you to stay in hotels as an adult.
Yeah, how did you get on at the Hard Days Night Hotel? What did you do around?
Exactly. It was great. I woke up with no possessions.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying about the people of Liverpool.
No, I was just
I'm an honorary
meaning
scout,
of
so I won't have
generic
that.
hotel stays. That's what I was saying.
I'm imagining it was a
'cause
four-poster
obviously,
bed, but instead of like a canopy, it was a big mop top.
That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Mop
Yeah,
top
that'd
frames,
be good.
That'd be great.
Oh yeah. It was a bit submarine-y.
But how do you manage in hotels? Like, do you just have
I manage very, very successfully.
But do you have to have like a fake door inside the door?
I make an exception for a hotel. I don't mind that. But
Clearly,
in
you
my
couldn't sleep
bed,
with a hotel.
Exactly.
No.
So it's obviously
with my
makes
bedroom
sense
at
to have
home,
your door
don't
shut.
judge. Don't you judge my habits. At home, I like to have the door open. It's my background. I always had it open. My parents,
background?
my parents,
It's part of
were
a
very
culture.
70s.
You slept in a Wild West saloon.
Louche and bohemian, and we were very open-minded.
Okay, well, we weren't. We were just desperately trying to keep warm in a house with no sound.
Should have had the whippet in there.
As most of the family slept in the room, we might as well have left it open, I suppose. Let a bit of air out. Wouldn't have been a bad idea.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, if our Keith's listening, me and him shared a bed in the early days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then it happened. Bonks. That was exciting when the bonks turned up.
Oh, yeah.
I think I went lower, he went higher, if I remember rightly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Then he started drinking, he couldn't do the stairs. We had to swap.
Probably for the best in case you wet the bed as well. Eh?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be lying there thinking, as if you were sleeping in some subterranean cave.
Exactly.
This is the nicest conversation.
Well,
we've
Tell you
ever
what's
had.
getting on my nerves, by the way, is
What?
the Go Compare adverts now they've joined in with the fact that people hate the Go Compare man.
Oh, really?
So I tell you, we're in with this. You know, we know that. So
People
we're going
think
to
it's
want
clever,
which is
don't they?
attacked now by Stuart
Yeah,
Pearce. No. That's not. That doesn't make you okay because you've turned on one of your employees. That doesn't make you better. A bloke who's done so much to publicise you, you're now treating like dirt and humiliating. That doesn't make me think, oh yeah, I'm going to go on the Go Compare website. They're nice to people. So anyway, what were we
He
saying?
could put in a complaint about bullying in the workplace, couldn't he? The old Go Compare.
I don't know. I think you should bring out a new version called Go Tribunal.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Technically, I haven't actually got a bedroom door. We're on the top floor.
So I see, a conversion.
There's a door down some steps, but yeah, we're in a loft conversion.
So you go through your bedroom door and then up some steps?
Yeah, but we leave it ajar anyway so that we can hear, the
Well, then
children.
it's not a door, it's a jar.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
I remember the old gag, I thought we'd throw it in there. There'll be young people who haven't heard it and thought, blimey, that's clever.
What, when
That's
is a
the
door
first
not a
time,
jar?
Yeah.
When it's a jar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well-
Of course, young people won't know the word ajar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Many of them won't know what a door is.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Why? Because of open plan Scandi architecture?
Yeah, exactly.
No, because of comprehensive education.
Oh, Frank.
General ignorance. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, general ignorance. I blame him.
But I'm glad we're talking about the rules of living here in terms of door open, door
Are you
closed.
now?
I am, and I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Because I've had an incident. I've had what I believe the youth would call an epic fail. I've tried to enforce a no eating in my car rule. Now, I'll be honest, in the past I've had a Marks and Spencer sandwich or a Scotch egg or whatever, but I do a reasonable amount of travelling in the vehicle. And so I've started saying, look, I think we should not eat in the car, no eating in the car.
What's your logic?
Well, it's
Food's expensive.
no, it's not that. It's almost like it's my kind of. If I'm in it for quite a while. So it's just nice to have it a bit tidy, and not be sitting in, mess.
No, but you can say eat in the car and then, fold up all the wrapping and take that with you.
Yeah, it doesn't really happen like that. You end up with bits of pastry. I mean, it was a particular low was
It's a
when
pastry.
I
Who have you got in there, Mr. Kipling?
children and my wife, my errant wife. I mean, I got in the other day and there was some, the plastic, the wax that you get off a Baby Bell. There was, Baby Bell cheese.
Oh, yeah.
There was one of those stuck to the upholstery of the vehicle.
Well, Frank has that, but it's
said
the
to her-
papal seal.
I said,
Yeah, exactly.
I said, do you know how
It's-
much the
sometimes
depreciation will be on that?
It
If
drops
you-
off. If I'm reading a bull when I'm driving, a papal bull, sometimes a bit of the seal will come
They're
away.
all over your car, Frank.
I am, yeah.
So I said,
I
right,
am.
I love they am. Can I have a clap for they am?
for a bit of Birmingham.
I lapsed back to Black Country completely. They am, yeah, oh, they am.
So
Sorry, Alan.
I
Carry on.
said I'd like to enforce a no eating in the car rule. Days have passed, and then we're in the car, all of us together, children, adult cockerels, and my wife's going, "Oh, I'll just give them a croissant." I'm thinking that's one of the most.
That basically is crumbs.
It's one of the most crummy foods you could do, isn't it?
Also,
Central
one of the
Park.
most carby as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a sort of an aircraft carrier for crumbs.
exactly.
Croissant.
And then I said, no, we're only going on a very short journey. It was back from the swimming. I said, we're not
Did
having
she try
croissant.
to shout you down to a pan au chocolat?
We didn't barter.
That's great,
Then
'cause you can do pig snout with them.
the
I loved
following journey,
They
she's
make a great ad hoc pig snout, the pan au chocolat.
following journey. She's trying to.
He's not having it.
I'm listening, but at the same time, I'm thinking, well, this is sort of relevant. Next journey, she's trying to get hand-back sausage rolls to them.
Oh, it's a crumb
At this point, we were on the motorway, and I said, no, you're not handing back a sausage roll. And my wife goes, what? Is it a no-eating rule? And I said, I've said several times it's no eating in the car. And she goes, oh, well, I didn't realise you meant no eating. I went, what do you want me to do? Put the rules in writing? And she went, yes, please. And
dear.
and this is where I'd overreached in the argument, I went, right, I'll get them laminated if you want. My wife knows that I'm not a high achiever or a doer. She knows that there's no danger of me getting the rules laminated.
No.
So she called my bluff. She went, good, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the rules
You're not
laminated.
tempted to call her bluff.
I am, but unlike you two, I haven't got a PA that could just do it. If I could delegate this task, it would be great, but, you
need to work harder.
the person I would delegate it to would be my wife.
Make me feel bad about it for being more successful.
But I'm keen to know if I'm in the wrong or...
See, if it was me, if there's crumbs in the car, just get a new car.
Hang, you sound like Chris Evans now.
Sorry.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, in the course of our mid-music conversation, I discovered that the cockerel is something of a despot in the car.
Oh, do you know what? I like it to be a bit sort of clean and weirdly, I don't apply these rules in my own home, which my wife also pointed out. Why are you so tidy in the car? And I said, it's because it's like my toolbox. It's my one work tool other than a laptop. But this is...
Is that your shed?
Yeah, I need it. It aids my driving concentration.
There used to be a comic on the circuit, I remember. He always used to brush his teeth before he went on stage, and he used to say, I need to clean my instrument.
Nice. See? And we've had a text in. Hi guys, I'm totally with Alan here. Surely people can wait until they're sitting at a table. I hate seeing people chomping food all over the place. Not actually the point I'm making.
The point I'm making...
The point I'm making is I want my car nice and clean and tidy. And
but the other point you made, that your wife was forbidden to phone her own father because you were enjoying a song on the radio.
There was a song on the radio on the same journey.
It's like a Victorian patriarch.
I'd already said, I like this song. I turned it up slightly, and then she turned it back down to take a call from her dad that she knew was just we've set off type thing. Unnecessary.
Well...
Anyway, I think these car rules are important. When I get them laminated, I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what Kath does. She, my girlfriend Kath, she'll take a bottle of water in the car and she'll drink about half of it and then leave the other half of bottle of water just rolling about
in your footwell.
She sits in the back. You see?
Oh really?
Yeah, I wear a black leather chauffeur outfit. And we just drive round and round, and I just watch her in the rearview mirror. No, because the baby seats in the back.
Oh,
she sits in the back with the baby.
Yeah.
So in the back, every now and again, you know the sound of a plastic water bottle when trotting on?
Oh, it's nothing worse.
Yeah, and I always think, I hope that's your ankle.
Frank!
They're rolling about. When I'm in there on my own, I can hear them rolling about. I find that really
rolling
annoying.
In the deep.
They are rolling in the deep. I'll tell you what I did find. Because I bought my... when did I buy my car? 3 months ago? 4 months?
We're getting on about 6, I'd say
4
now.
months ago. I found a drinks holder. No. It's got one of those drinks holder things.
Did Kylie not talk you through all the different facilities of the vehicle?
I should be so Anyway. A drinks holder with the two and I thought that's just the job because I'm often having to cradle in my crotch a rather too hot drink. Mm-hmm. Do you know I haven't been able to find it again since I can't remember where it was.
Have you lost it?
I've lost it.
Is it your armrest or is there a button?
It's no good guessing. I've looked everywhere.
It's open to abuse, the drinks holder.
Probably in the manual.
Approve.
I don't have that. I'm not strict though in the car. I don't have that. I don't mind it getting a bit messy.
I think I'm becoming a bit strict.
In a way, I hate cars, so I don't really care whether they're well cared for.
You're not strict, and you don't go coasters.
No, not in the car. To me, a car is.
You told me to mind the door once.
Did I?
You worried about the paint. Yeah, well, you had just bought it.
Yeah, well, we were driving, and you had I had mine closed, and you had yours open. And I thought that was taking things too far. Let's face it, though, isn't a car just a sofa with itchy feet?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, hi, Alan, Frank and co. You know what's worse than sausage roll in a car? A flake, all flaky and melty. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Chocolate in the car. Also, husband once tried to convince me yoghurt was acceptable car food. No, it's not.
Yeah, but once you've banned the flake, what's next? Eczema? It's becoming like Nazi Germany.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
It's not on the subject of car rules, but someone's texted in my Absolute Radio reception keeps breaking into someone speaking French. Sort it out, Frank. No,
that's Frank. He's just got some of those new language tapes.
I like their bossiness.
What, Rosetta Stone?
Yeah, you love Rosetta Stone.
They're on the Rosetta Stone.
I'm sorry if that's happening. I don't know if you're completely correctly tuned.
Sounds like maybe not.
You're gathering our friends from across the channel.
I've not got a no French rule in the car. I'm fine with people speaking other languages. It's just the eating, really. And also, that which by we call a rose, by any other name would smell as sweet, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Do
you have Shakespeare in the car? Is that acceptable?
That's allowed, yeah.
Okay.
And welcome, indeed. If my wife's going to pass sausage rolls back to the children, why not just say,
God.
hey, Alan, can we stop for a picnic? Why don't we just represent it as a picnic?
Yeah, but I mean, in the winter, that's impractical.
I like the use of represent. You're saying it like a rapper there.
Represent. yeah, represent it.
I once had
It
a
won't
massive...
cost 50 cent or
So
so.
once, but I had a massive row with a girlfriend in a car,
Oh, yeah.
and we got to her house, and I said, right, get out. I said, that's it.
Dear.
I said, that's it. I can't take this anymore. And she said, I'm not getting. I said, just get out. That's it. So she got out, and as she got out,
Was
she,
the car parked at that stage?
yeah,
Okay.
it was. I slowed to about 30.
Yeah. Good on you.
No. So she got out, and as she got out, she grabbed my car keys out the car,
Oh, no.
and I got out the car to try and get them back, and she just threw them straight down the drain.
She did not.
Yeah, it was new.
She did
It had
not.
just become the New Year. It was about 4 a.m.
Oh.
and we'd been to a New Year's Eve party. So I grabbed her by the lapels, and we fell back. We were lying on the bonnet of the car.
I don't like the sound of the lapels. Or
No.
a bit John Bishop.
Yeah, what do you mean by that? And I was saying, "Oh, golly!" And of course, you can't hit them. That's
Even
my
if-
car.
Frank!
That's my car rule.
Even if they've
On the
thrown a
body,
key
you
down.
can't, no matter how angry, you can't hit them. It's not,
Frank.
it's
So
not
did you,
acceptable.
how did you get the keys back? Did you have to roll your sleeve up and stick your hand
Well, I
down
had
a
to
drain?
stay. I ended up having, because it was at her flat. I had to ended up staying the night,
Oh.
and then we made up. So it was a good tactic.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to go to a local garage. Simple as that.
You couldn't fish it
It's a
back
story
out?
that peters out somewhat towards the end.
Oh, I
but
don't let-
It's a happy end.
I don't let that spoil me telling them.
Yeah, it's a happy ending in many ways. But no, so it was. There's nothing like wrestling on a car bonnet with your girlfriend at 4 o'clock in the morning. It was next to a block of flats, and all these lights were coming on because people could hear the shouting and swearing and all that. Ah, happy days. I believe is the phrase one should say at this point.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We've heard from the outside world, in particular, responding to my car rules, which I was trying to enforce and failing. Someone said the cockerel sounds like Victorian Dad from Viz. What kind of car is it? What kind of car it is not the point.
Although that's very
Billy
much the
Bob.
kind of question you'd ask.
Well, if it was a
fairness.
mobile snack bar,
You were talking to me
your
about...
rules would be even more ridiculous.
It'd be even more germane, surely. You don't eat in a
More defined.
functioning kitchen, do you?
You don't eat in a functioning kitchen.
In like a working, you're not allowed to eat in a pub kitchen. Or,
Oh, like a Ramsay
I
kitchen.
don't know. I only see
supposed
kitchens when I do formal visits with the old white hat on. You know, to put the white hat on.
Yeah.
yeah, beard net.
Yeah.
The old
And
beard net.
I just always make sure I keep a tidy work surface. I've told you that.
And
Yes.
and we've had a text in saying, why not just pay for a valet before solo excursions? Let the kids
Valet?
eat pies. I thought as a car, like if it's a car cleaner, we'd call it a valet, wouldn't you? A valet.
But you have valet parking, don't
Isn't
you?
a valet a person and a valet a clean?
I'm not sure that's correct. But
I've
I
got
like
it.
let the
I might
kids
well
eat
have-
pies.
let the kids
Sounds
eat
like
pies.
It's from Marie Antoinette.
Well, it says it's from Ian, but I think it's actually from my wife pretending to be Ian.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's
in
sort
the
of name
interest
we call
of
with a
balance, yeah.
Frank, we're moving into a higher vibration. Not my words,
Speak for yourself.
but the words of Coronation Street's Ken Barlow.
Oh yes,
Well,
Now-
technically not. I think
Well, he's turned
I think he
it-
was speaking as himself, wasn't
William
he?
Roach. Yeah.
Yes, right. He's turned into a bit of an apocalyptic prophet.
He's always had something of the mystical about him, William Roach.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But he's now saying he was interviewed for a paranormal magazine called Silent Voices.
Huh?
Yeah,
Good
not,
job it's
not much
not.
in that magazine.
Good job it's not an audio magazine.
The talking book of silent voices is rubbish. That's
And he's had a lot to say, Frank.
Well, I think we better play some music and we'll come back because I'm keen. But it's to be fair to him, he's always
We're going to play Keen.
Yeah, no, happily not. It's he's one of life's great explorers, William Roach. He's always seeking new horizons. That's why he's been.
Oh, 1,000 of them.
That's why he's had the same part for 52 years.
Frank
Skinner.
on Absolute Radio.
Absolute Radio.
This will be the golden age when a majority will know they are loved.
A majority will know they are loved.
Yes.
No, not loved.
No, just
Love.
love. I think this was Ken Barlow again. I think he went a bit Corrie, Mancunian. Well, no, they are, love.
I'll tell you one of his quotes. What about this? He says, 12, you know, some people think that December the 12th, because it's the 12th of the 12th, 12 will be the end of the world.
Oh, is that why? Oh,
Yeah.
I suppose it's to
Mayan
do with
thing.
double... I thought it was to do with 6666.
Oh, I thought it was a Mayan calendar thing.
Well, it isn't.
Yeah.
It's also a Mayan calendar. That's you, Mayan. But he says it. He said it won't be the end of the world.
Oh.
Which I don't know about you. It took a load off my mind. Ken Barlow.
Well, I've only got 6 weeks till OMG, so you better hurry up.
Yeah, exactly. He says what will happen is that negative and material things will cease to be. Well, that's ITV gone. So what's going to happen to Coronation Street?
Was his whole interview about built-in obsolescence? Was that he was talking about?
Oh, you got to love him, though. He says he predicts that soon people will communicate regularly by telepathy.
Yeah.
It's going to kill this show, won't it? People will turn on, it'll just be us looking at each other.
Frank, there's a logical explanation for that. A homeopathic doctor appeared to him in a dream and communicated to him via his astral plane.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
I know.
Yeah.
I like the comments underneath. You know, you were talking about...
What he wants to do is sleep the door shut. I mean, his astral door. I've heard that William Roach sleeps with his astral door open. But he is 80, to be fair.
Frank, one of the comments underneath said, the guy needs prayer. He ain't cooking with both burners. I enjoyed that.
Well, he's 80, poor old.
Yeah, but he's got something about him. His girlfriend's 43, isn't she?
Oh, filthy creep.
Yeah. So he's 80, his girlfriend's 40. Are you calling me a filthy creep or William Rowe?
No,
the jury's out.
I think we can safely say he's come up trumps.
I'm 37, so I'm in between him and his girlfriend.
Well, he claims to have bedded, and I say bedded, which you only ever say in the tabloids. He's bedded over 1,000 women.
Yeah, well...
And Tony Blackburn. It's always the good lookers, isn't
Tony
it?
Blackburn?
No!
Wow, that's some tally.
He's bedded over 1,000 women and Tony Blackburn in brackets. Well, I say brackets. They were more like stirrups. Anyway...
Judgy not.
Yes.
That's quite a thing to end on.
It is. It's time to get out, though. Coming up is...
Tony Blackburn said after he got fed up with the stirrups.
God, has it gone that way? Has it gone to Carry On Absolute? Oh, by the way, if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. So thank you very much for listening. As ever, we love you all. And that makes me very proud.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.